Hello Arsenal fans, in today's video we go in depth into why Arsenal, Premier League champions, want to sign Bruno Guimaraes from Newcastle United. Look at this midfield, Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard. On paper, it's top class, and yet something is missing. A specific profile, a connector, a disruptor, one who can also dictate the tempo. A certain Bruno Guimaraes. The media frenzy is that the medical is booked. Mikel Arteta is reportedly obsessed. But why would Arsenal break the bank for a player who turns 29 this season, when you already have a top midfield? It's not just about adding depth, it's about unlocking the full potential of Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard. It's about transforming Arsenal from a team that controls space into a team that destroys and creates with equal venom. In this video, we're breaking down the tactical obsession and how Bruno Guimaraes would fit, not just into this 11, but into the soul of the Arsenal team. To understand the Bruno G pursuit, you have to understand Arsenal's number 6 problem. Last season, Zubimendi and Rice played together, with Zubimendi at the base. Zubimendi made a solid start, even scoring a wonder volley. However, as the season moved on, it became apparent he wasn't making the team flow with incisive passing and line-breaking balls. Instead, he was just recycling the ball, many times playing it backwards, and maybe the physicality got to him. We don't know. The Premier League is always tough in the first season. Teams that sat back made life difficult for Arsenal, and with the injuries to Odegaard and Saka throughout the season, Arsenal relied heavily on set pieces. Enter Bruno Guimaraes. He's the ultimate hybrid. Defensively, he's a Brazilian pit bull. Aggressive, bites into tackles, loves a duel. But with the ball, he's a technician. He ranks in the 99th percentile for progressive passes among midfielders. He is a dual-phase monster. He allows you to play 4-3-3 in attack, but instantly revert to a solid 4-2-3-1 in defence without changing personnel. He's a party's physicality, Jorginho's brain, and Xhaka's controlled aggression rolled into one. Now let's take a look at a couple of examples of Arsenal's problems last season. This is the pass map for Havertz, Rice and Zubimendi against Bournemouth. Yep, that game we lost, and when everyone thought it was over. As you can see, it's all sideways passing with no passes into the opponent's box. The picture doesn't lie, it's pretty damning. Now let's take a look at another example of Arsenal's problems. This is against Wolves at home. If you remember, it was a scary game as Wolves equalised later on and we grabbed the winner right at the depth thanks to an own goal. But as you can see in the image, there are two lines. The first being our midfield, where the ball just gets moved sideways and back. The midfield line is inverted but still looks like a horseshoe, as people call it the Arteta horseshoe, where just the ball moves sideways across the pitch without piercing the lines, with penetrating passes, which is also boring to watch. So how does Bruno change all that? Well, we've got a couple of examples here. As you can see, this is against Sunderland. Bruno playing a through ball, penetrating the lines. And as we flick it on, this is an example where he can play the ball over the top from deep. So Bruno has that quality. He can play balls over the top, he can play through balls. He has an array of passing, and he's going to play penetrating passes instead of those sideways passes that we've been used to from last season. And really, Victor Gyökeres is the one that should benefit from all of this because he makes those runs. We've seen him make the runs down the middle, down the side, but the ball doesn't come to him. With Bruno Guimaraes, the hope is that he's going to make those passes, he's going to find Gyökeres, make those passes either over the top or through the middle, and Gyökeres should be getting on the end of those and he should be putting those balls away. This season for Gyökeres will be his second season. With players like Bruno passing the ball to him, we should be able to judge him fairly now. He had a good season last season, scored about 20 goals. But now with players like Bruno Guimaraes playing the balls to him that he wants, he should be knocking the ball in a lot more than he did last season. And we should really be getting the benefit and the full potential of Gyökeres. Let's move on to player comparison, starting with Zubimendi. This is a pass map from last season. As you can see, only 28% of his passes were forward, with most being left to right, proving the point about Arsenal being a sideways team. If you look on the right, he had a good pass accuracy in the opponent's half at 82%. Looking at the bottom of the image, you'll see he only had 1 assist, 3 successful crosses and 19 key passes. Switching it over to Declan Rice, it's surprisingly not that much different. The shocking number is he played the ball forward less than Zubimendi at only 27%. The real difference and outlier is the key passes, with Rice having 63 to only Zubimendi's 19, and Rice also having a lot more open play crosses. So bring on Bruno Guimaraes' pass map. As you can see, the main figure here is that he passes the ball forward 31.8% of the time, higher than Rice, higher than Zubimendi. And if you look at his open play crosses, it's similar to Rice at 37, and his key passes is not too less than Declan Rice at 45. Now you might say that he was playing at Newcastle, it's a different system, but Mikel Arteta wants him to play to his strengths. He wants the strengths of Bruno Guimaraes to come to Arsenal, so Arsenal can benefit in his style of play and penetrate the lines with his forward passing. Coming on to goals, again, Bruno outperforms our 2 main midfielders from last season. Bruno scored 9 times compared to Rice, who only scored 4. Zubimendi only got 5. And fair play to Zubimendi because he can score. He can volley, as we know, and head, if you remember his goal against Leeds. But Bruno really has it all, with 6 right-footed goals, 1 with his left, and 2 headers. Probably most importantly is Bruno's goal per minute. He scores every 272 minutes, whereas Declan Rice, on the other hand, scored every 774 minutes, and Zubimendi only scoring every 600 minutes. So Bruno really does excel with the goal threat, and compound that with his passing and defensive qualities, Arsenal will really be getting an all-round midfielder, and let's hope he performs well in the red and white. Let's end the video with the famous 3 words from the transfer guru Fabrizio Romano. Here we go, as he confirms that Bruno Guimaraes will become an Arsenal player. So exciting. Again, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, share and subscribe.